Welcome to Chapter 1 of our series, Master Your Money, Budgeting That Actually Works. In this episode, titled Why Budgets Fail, The Psychology of Money Management, we're going to explore the surprising psychological factors that can trip us up when it comes to managing our finances. So, if you've ever wondered why sticking to a budget feels so challenging, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Your budget isn't failing because you're bad with money. It's failing because your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do. One moment you swear you'll save for the future. The next, you're tapping confirm purchase on something you didn't plan. Why does that keep winning? Most money plans are built like spreadsheets, but your daily life runs on habits, emotions, and shortcuts. That mismatch is why a perfect plan on Sunday night can be wrecked by Thursday afternoon. The problem isn't the $200 you meant to save. It's the $27 takeout here, the $14 rideshare there, the $39 limited time sale that sneaks in through your phone. Researchers find we misjudge these decisions constantly. In one study of 6,000 Mint users, 80% lowballed irregular yearly costs, things like car repairs or subscriptions, by more than 30%. That's how a budget that should work on paper collapses in real life. In this episode, we'll break down the specific psychological traps that quietly drain your money, and then turn those same tendencies into tools that make your budget easier to follow, not harder. Psychologists can actually measure how skewed our money choices are. Present bias, for instance, can make $100 today feel as valuable as $150 a year from now. Leibson's work suggests we can discount future rewards by up to 50%. Layer on loss aversion. Kahneman and Tversky found we feel a $50 loss roughly twice as intensely as a $50 gain. Put those together and you get a pattern. Skipping a $60 dinner hurts far more than adding $60 to savings feels good, even if you're carrying $3,000 in credit card debt at 24% interest. Your budget keeps colliding with that emotional math. Mental accounting is the next quiet saboteur. You don't see money, you see separate buckets. Rent, groceries, fun, bonus, tax refund. That can help, until those categories trick you. Someone might be strict about a $500 fun limit, but treat a $1,200 tax refund like free money and blow $800 of it in a weekend. Same dollars, different mental labels, totally different behavior. This is why people can carry $4,000 on a credit card at 20% interest while letting $3,000 sit in a checking account for peace of mind. Mathematically, paying $2,000 to the card and keeping $1,000 in cash is better in almost every case. Psychologically, though, that big round checking number feels safer, so the debt lingers and costs about $800 a year in interest. Willpower fatigue adds another layer. At 8 a.m., saying no to a $6 latte feels easy. By 8 p.m., after 50-plus tiny money decisions, transport, lunch, subscriptions, shared bills, kids' requests, that same no feels like a heavy lift. That's ego depletion in action. Your brain's decision fuel is low. Left unplanned, late-day choices skew toward, I deserve this, and I'll fix it later. Here's where friction becomes your ally. In a field experiment, households using envelope-style cash systems cut discretionary spending by 12 to 18%. The math of their intentions didn't change, the path to spending did. Having to break a $100 bill or see an envelope thin out slows you down just enough to reconsider a $40 impulse. Digital tools rarely add this kind of friction by default. One-tap pay, stored cards, buy now, pay later, and auto-renew all remove tiny speed bumps that would otherwise trigger a second thought. When every purchase is 3 clicks instead of 1, some maybe decisions quietly turn into, actually, no. Finally, complexity itself kills follow-through. A 32-category spreadsheet with color codes and pivot tables feels virtuous on day 1 and unbearable by day 10. Every extra rule is another chance to fail, and each perceived failure nudges you toward, this isn't working anyway, spending. The most effective systems are often brutally simple. A few big categories, a couple of hard rules, and automation doing most of the work. Think about 3 typical days. Day 1. You get paid $2,400. You tell yourself, I'll be careful this month, but nothing actually changes. By day 5, $180 has drifted to food delivery, $90 to random Amazon buys, $60 to ride shares. None of those decisions feels big, but you've quietly spent $330 of what you meant to direct elsewhere. Day 10. A $700 car repair hits. Because you didn't park even $50 per paycheck in a repairs bucket, it goes on a card at 22%. That one surprise now adds roughly $150 in interest over the year if you only make minimums. Day 18. Your friend suggests a weekend trip costing $400. Saying no feels like a loss, and the trip is concrete. Your longer-term goal is vague. You go, then feel guilty enough to give up and overspend another $150 that week. Now flip it. Someone earning the same $2,400 auto-routes 10%, $240 out on payday, plus $60 into a surprises bucket. They still spend on food, rides, and fun, but inside simple limits, and the repair plus trip don't wreck their month or their mood. AI will soon act less like a calculator and more like a coach. A system that sees you average $260 a month on takeout could nudge, lock in $200 and auto-move the extra $60 to your travel fund? If your card spend spikes 30% in 48 hours, it might trigger a 12-hour cool-off before large buys. At scale, say 10 million users shifting just $75 a month, this could redirect $9 billion a year from leakage into goals, quietly rewiring norms for what normal money behavior looks like. Treat this as a design problem, not a character flaw. Build around your brain. Set one friction rule. For example, any buy over $40 waits 24 hours. One automation. Move $75 every payday to a separate account. And one pre-decision. Cap food apps at $120. Those 3 moves can redirect over $3,000 a year without demanding constant self-control. Here's your challenge this week. For the next 7 days, every time you're about to make a non-essential purchase, like takeout, online shopping, or subscriptions, pause for 60 seconds and say out loud which money story is driving it. For example, I deserve this after a hard day, or I might miss out if I don't buy it now. Then, deliberately choose one of the podcast's alternative actions instead, like waiting 24 hours, putting that same amount into a named savings bucket, or swapping it for a no-spend reward. Walk, call a friend, library movie. Track how many times you do this in your Notes app and aim for at least 5 pattern interrupts by the end of the week. This was Owl Up, your daily step forward. To keep learning with structured courses and more insights, go to owlup.co. Until tomorrow!